It's flbudman here with another Scorpion video. Today we're going to be covering the LQ, aka the Deathstalker. That's him. Actually, this female on there. She's a female. The species is a desert species, so housing, let's say, I'm just using a large critter keeper. She's like 2 to 3 inches. I don't have a ruler in here. So large critter keeper, smaller sizes, you can use a smaller critter keeper like the size I have right there. But for this size, a scorpion is fine. Substrate. I'm using right now 50% Vitasand, 50% excavator clay. You can get both these at PetSmart. You can't get this at Petco. Oh, it almost spilled everywhere. Heat. I have that small heater right there. That little heater right there. It heats up my entire room to around 85 to 90 degrees, which is a good temp for all my scorpions. So I don't have to have like 6 of these little things going on. Which I imagine, I'm not sure which one uses more power if you're worried about the power bill. I don't pay the power bill, so I don't have to worry about it. But it's annoying having all these, like, look at this. Like, that's just for, like, 3 lamps, and there's cords everywhere and stuff, and it's just a hassle. It's much easier to just have one thing heating your whole room, and it's more convenient, too. If you zoom in on her, she's quite beautiful. One thing about this species you can tell, it's a Deathstalker, or LQ, I cannot pronounce the scientific name at all, so forgive me, is on the 5th segment of their tail, it's black. So as you can see, this one, you can't really see it that well, but it's definitely darkened on the 5th section of the tail, or the last one closest to their stinger. So pretty much, you just mix. What I do is I mix the two to combine the substrate and just pour it in there anyway. You can create hills and valleys or whatever. What some people do is the excavator clay, when it gets wet, it will hold its form really well, like this. This is 100% excavator clay, and it's hard as a rock pretty much. So if you do 50-50 or even 25% excavator clay with 75% sand, get the whole thing pretty wet and then let it dry for a couple weeks. That's why I have this right here. So I can put a scorpion in here while its enclosure is drying out. That way it's not exposed to the wet temperatures, because they like to burrow if they burrow. So make sure it's dry all the way through, not just on top, because they do burrow, and if it's wet on the bottom, they'll get all that humidity and we'll get mycosis. So you're going to want to measure the humidity with a hygrometer and a thermometer to regulate the temperature. I don't know how many scorpions you have, so you'll probably be using heat lamp. I like to use a heat lamp on this guy because he's probably my most active scorpion, and heating him up a couple more degrees. This is like a 30-watt bulb, so it heats it up like 5 to 10 more degrees. Makes him a bunch more active, even though he is my most, or she, forgive me, is my most active scorpion already. Size. Well, I'm pretty sure that's an adult. I got them from Ken the Bug Guy. If you're looking for scorpions, I would recommend them. It's pretty good. Don't want to. My scorpion is quite active. This is the only LQ I have, but she is very, very active, I would say. Probably the most active scorpion I've ever had, and I've had a lot of active scorpions. But that's probably, they probably get a bit bigger than that, but not much. Water. You're going to want to use a, where did I put it? Right here. Bottle cap from a soda bottle, 2 liter, whatever, 32 ounce, and just 20 ounce actually. Put it in there, fill with water. We'll make sure it's clean. This one's dirty. Put it in there every week or so, twice a week maybe, and just leave it in there overnight so they can drink if they want to, if they're too thirsty. If you see them drinking a lot, you're probably gonna want to add the water more often because they're thirsty. Or you can try increasing the moisture in your feeder cage and give them a more moisture diet like carrots or just the cricket diet formula that they have. Mine don't eat that at all. I just give them a cat food and add carrots and oranges and stuff. I would recommend, if you're going to have more than one scorpion, get B-dubia cockroaches. They are much better and they do not stink. If you have owned any amount of crickets, you know that the odor is offensive. I have a few adults in here and a bunch of babies. Probably 500 little babies in here. You're going to want them, keep them pretty wet. You can find care videos for crickets online. But she will eat around 2 big-sized crickets every week. So I feed her every 3 or 4 days, just depending on when I feed my other scorpions. Now, the scorpion is poisonous, very venomous. Do not put your hands in the cage at all. I'm saying this now, do not put your hands in the cage at all. They have a very powerful neurotoxin, which do not want to get stung by. They're probably 5 out of 5 on the venom scale. So they're probably arguably the most venomous scorpion in the world. But it depends on how you react to venom. People have gotten stung by them. I mean, modern medical care, you'll probably live. But it's going to hurt a lot. I've never been tagged by any scorpion because I'm careful. I'm not stupid enough to stick my hands in there. That's why I use this. I have like 10-inch pencil and like 12-inch tongs. So I never have to put my hands anywhere in there. Even if I do, I'm just really careful. I always know where a scorpion is at all times, just in case. So pretty much for hides, as far as hides go, I just use a rock and put it in there pretty much. It just kind of dig out a little section. She already dug like all this, so just take your rock, put it in there. Doesn't have to be deep at all. They don't like it really deep. They'll dig out to their preference level. So just put enough pretty much for them to fit in, and they'll dig out the rest. Make sure there's one entrance is what I like to do, so they can dig. They'll dig to their preference, especially if this stuff they can't really dig in, but because it's just dry sand. But if you wet it out like I told you to, I'll do a tutorial on that later. It should retain its form. So that's pretty much it for the LQ scorpion, or dust stalker as it's commonly known. If you have any questions, post, comments, subscribe if you like my videos. Thank you for watching. See you later, I guess. Oh no, it's not pausing.